My best friend, we grew up together from when we were 3 years old. He joined the Hitler movement and he threw a rock in our window.
What did the rock say?
Salzriff.
Can you tell us your name?
Armand, Cymbalista.
When and where were you born?
December 18, 1933. Brussels, Belgium.
When did the war start for you?
1940, the Germans invaded Brussels. And from there on, my whole life was changed.
What are your memories of the first day of the war?
We were on the balcony and we saw the Germans coming in with parachutes. We went and I called my mother. From there, we left.
And where did you go?
My father, his concept was that if we stay where we are, they're going to pick us up and they're going to bring us to Dachau. I was only 6 years old, but I knew that that's not where I wanted to go. My parents' family in Poland, the whole family was picked up. They did not survive. My parents knew that what we have to do, we can't stay where we are. It's the same thing that's going on now. I had all kinds of friends. My parents had friends. They weren't not necessarily Jewish or not Jewish, whatever. We were all together. However, when the Germans came in and they started walking on the pavement with the nail heads, the whole town followed them, and at that point they weren't really for the Jews, but they did not want to be part of the Jewish community.
Where'd you go once you left?
We didn't know where we were going. We ended up in Dunkirk. However, on the way, the planes came in and my mother said, when you hear the planes coming, just jump into the ditch and cover yourself and make sure that they don't see you. And every day the planes were coming and we were jumping in, but we survived.
And throughout this whole journey, what did you guys eat? How did you guys stay fed?
You know what? We didn't eat. We slept in the ditch. We didn't even think about what we were going to eat. My parents were buying a trip to Spain. When we got to Bagnes-les-Bains, the 36 families were supposed to go to the hotel. My mother says she's not going to that hotel. She told my father, just get a room somewhere the other way. And we got a room and all of a sudden, knock on the door. Your husband, the children, and you has to come with us, gather up, and you go to the police station. My father jumped out the window. We never saw him for months and months and months.
What happened after your mother went to prison? How'd you live?
I got sick. I got appendix. The top doctor, he says he needs an operation and I have to get his mother to sign. The lady that I was with was friends with the doctor. He got my mother out. He did the operation. And he said that my mother is not going to have to go back to prison because he signed for her. He wasn't Jewish. We found out that my father was in a prison called Miranda. One of the guys that were there was writing his wife that was in prison and sent a picture of my mother and asked, she came across with this lady. As it happens that my mother was in the same cell as this lady. She got the letter from my father and my mother saw the letter and she says, oh, that's my husband's handwriting. And eventually, the doctor that looked after me got my father out too.